I don't even know where we're going to start with this one. Hi, my name's Drew. Welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. Today we are finally talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's probably the best way to just do a review as well, because there's so much to say about this film. There's so much in this film. It is quite an amazing achievement, actually, I feel. Now, if you're rather new to the channel, you will not know I have been looking forward to this film for quite some time, especially because it had already been out in the USA and we didn't even have a release date for Austria. So I didn't even know when I'd finally be able to see it, and I saw there was one for the UK, and just by chance I was actually looking for another film on my cinema app, and it just popped up. I was like, I have to go and see it. So I saw it on the very first release day. Lucky for me, I had time on that day. Brilliant, really loved it. And I am a big fan of Swiss Army Man, if you don't know that about me. It's a film that came out in 2016. It is one of my favourite films of all time. It is just a great celebration of life, my interpretation of the film. And I just love it so much. It's absolutely weird. It's about a guy who has develops a friendship with a corpse that talks. It sounds very weird. It is very weird. I love the film to bits. No one in my family gets it. They're like, this is weird, you're weird. I'm lucky, to be perfectly honest, I'm still in the family. I do hope though, now, while this film is also weird, I do hope that more people will like it, just because I really think these guys, they've got a great way of making films. They're very special, and I hope that even more people might find Swiss Army Man because of this film, because they'll see what these two guys have done before. The two guys I'm talking about, by the way, are the Daniels. So we've got two directors here. It's Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. And yes, they both collectively call themselves Daniels. Now, it's quite strange to think that a film that's got the multiverse in it and all sorts of things happening is less weird than the other one, but that, in my opinion, is just the case. So if you felt that Swiss Army Man was too weird for you, I do believe that you will enjoy Everything Everywhere All at Once a lot more. And I think instead of saying Everything Everywhere All at Once every time in this video, I'll just call it the film probably. Otherwise I'm going to extend the length of the video by a few minutes just by saying the film name every time. Now, with that being said, we are going to attempt at breaking the plot down to, as per usual, give you a rather non-spoilery version of it, just so that you can get a feel for what the film is about. But it is really difficult to do that, and the plot really won't tell you a lot about what happens in this film. Sorry, I'll stop laughing all the time. It's just, I'm still giddy from the whole experience. It was great. I needed to digest the film after seeing it. And yeah, so the plot. We're focused on a Chinese-American family. So we've got a mother, a father, a daughter, and then later on we add a grandfather. They have a laundromat, so a laundry firm, and they are doing their taxes. That is the basic version. That is the basic plot of the film. So the IRS are after them, I'll call it. No, not really after them, but they've got an audit, so they have to present all their documents, etc., all the receipts, and it's about taxes. And while this happens, suddenly the mother of the family, the star of the film, Michelle Yeoh, she's the main role, she is, how should I say, pulled into this really wacky, wild story of the multiverse being in danger, and she has to help save it. And that's what the film's about. So on the one hand we've got taxes, on the other hand we've got the multiverse is in danger. And these two concepts go very well together as we find out. Yes, that is really all I'll tell you about the plot, because it's really difficult to explain the rest of it. Without spoiling it, or without getting too bogged down in details. But what is so great about this film is it's just got so many elements. So we've got comedy, we've got fantasy, we've got science fiction, we've got martial arts, we've just got so many different things. We've got really bizarre things in there, really cute things, all sorts of stuff. are in this film. It's just such a wide net that it casts, and it does it all so well. So the Daniels have really crafted a great story where they tie so many things together. It is, in the end, we are focused on a family and how they interact with each other and how they get on. Relationships. It's very much about relationships, the whole thing, because we've got the daughter. She is being, I don't know if it's meant to be a cliche or if that is just actually how many Asian people and families are, I don't know. But the mother, she's quite overbearing, so her daughter, played by Stephanie Sue, by the way, if I butcher any of these names, please forgive me, trying to do the best I can. She is gay, she's in a relationship, and we've got the grandfather who comes in. He's played by James Hong, legendary actor, or character actor probably I should say, who recently got his star on the, was it Walk of Fame in Hollywood or something, at, was he 93 or something? Incredible achievement, congratulations to him, definitely. He's in this film. Quite amusing as always. The mother, her name's Evelyn in the story, by the way. She doesn't really want to disclose to him that her daughter's gay because, you know, old guy, different values, doesn't appreciate it, she believes, and all these kind of things. So the two of them, not just because of that, but also seemingly because Evelyn feels that her life isn't really going anywhere, she's put on weight, all these kind of things, so she focuses on those things, you know, and because there's one moment where, for instance, she's trying to say goodbye to her, she says, oh, don't eat this because you're getting fat, you know, it's really disjointed. So they've got a bit of a weird relationship. Then you've got Evelyn and her husband. The husband, by the way, is played by Huy Quan. Again, sorry if that's wrong. Who we haven't seen in ages. He, if you're not familiar, he played Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and he also played Data in the Goonies. So two films I really like, and I like him in. And it's great to see him back. It's actually quite sad because he stopped acting in the early 2000s because he just felt, you know, there weren't any acting gigs out there. So I think it's beautiful and wonderful that he's back with this film, that this film has given him, you know, sort of the confidence again that, okay, there is enough out there for Asian actors, Asian American actors to do, and I think that's a really wonderful story, and he's just such a good fit in this film as well. But the two of them, so his character and Evelyn, their relationship isn't quite working as it should, and that's also one of the keystones of this thing. But there's just so much more going on. We've got Jamie Lee Curtis, she plays the IRS agent, so that's doing the taxes, and her role is turns out to be quite bonkers as well, which is great. I think Jamie Lee Curtis was the right fit for this, and we see her in scenes that I didn't think we would ever see Jamie Lee Curtis in. Very amusing, very good, funny things happen here. So we've got so many elements, and it's quite interesting to know that they first wrote the script actually with Jackie Chan in mind. So he was supposed to be playing the main character, and they started writing this in 2010, by the way, which makes me feel it's quite a shame that it's come out now, because everyone will go like, oh, you know, they saw what Marvel's doing or other things and they're just copying this. You know, they had this idea back in 2010, so it would have been wonderful, even better, if they had managed to bring it out back then. You know, then we would have had the first big multiverse story from a really independent filmmaker or filmmakers. That would have been wonderful. They decided sometime that they want to change it. They want to focus on a female character. They want to focus on the mother of the story, and that's where Michelle Yeoh came in. Great job, I feel, by the way. I saw an interview with her. It was quite lovely, where she was actually in tears because she was just grateful to have a role that really made her, you know, do so many things acting-wise. And I fully agree. It's wonderful. You know, it must be horrible to be typecast as the middle-aged, or young first, then middle-aged martial arts woman and all sorts of stuff, you know, and here she gets to do so many things. There are some scenes, but that's really not what the film is about, so she gets to do so much. It's really wonderful, so I'm very happy for both her and Huy Quan, you know, really great roles. And talking about Huy Quan and the martial arts for a second, it's funny because, you know, just I don't know, his stature, and when he also gets to fight, and his stature and everything, you know, he could very easily be Jackie Chan, you know. It's quite funny that you could see the two of them playing brothers, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I suppose Jackie Chan's quite a bit older, maybe he could play the father, or something like that. The two of them would go really well together, so that was quite funny. So you could really actually, in a way, see Jackie Chan in this film anyway. So really, really good film. The editing is amazing. The multiverse stuff is just really, you know, they spend so much time on things that will just be a few seconds in the film, just all the editing. We've got jumping back and forth, you know, all sorts of stuff. Really amazing, really amazing. The film looks beautiful. The wacky things are just so highly entertaining. Then we've got all the relationship stuff between all these characters. Really wonderful as well. I enjoyed a lot of it. And yeah, it's really hard to describe the film beyond that without going into too many spoilers and stuff. It really gets quite crazy at times, and when we have gags, they are just amazing. So we've got certain props that are used in these scenes and films, particularly fight scenes, of course, when there are some, and it's just amazing. And the choreography is great in those fight scenes, so we see weapons used that aren't quite typical. Camera work is amazing because we've got so many hectic shots where so many things are happening. Never a problem, so we're always getting a good view of everything. There's no hectic camera going on here, no shaky cam, nothing of that. I think that many people will see this film and everyone will find something different to latch on to, just like with Swiss Army Man. So I think this film also will speak differently to everyone. I love how it ended and everything. While it may feel a bit cliched, I'm not quite sure, or predictable even, I suppose you could say, you know, as it's coming, the big climax, etc. You kind of have an idea of what's going to happen. Still didn't mind because it just fits the overall story so well. So if you're looking for an independent film that needs support, or that you want to support, or you just want a unique cinema experience, you really should watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's a very, very unique film. This is generally a great year for film. I'm loving it already, and we're not even halfway through. Nearly halfway through. I mean, with this and The Northman, for instance, we've got incredible films coming to cinema. So I really do hope, if you can, you know, that you go and support these films, because they really need it. We need more films like this. You know, I'm a Marvel fan. I love the MCU. But at the same time, I really love these films because it's just so exciting to go into a film not knowing what awaits you, you know, and just seeing something very, very new. So I really love that. And in a similar vein, I saw a trailer yesterday for, 3,000 Years of Longing. It's George Miller's new film. That looks even more bonkers, you know, so I'm really hoping that I'll get to see that when it comes out. Yeah, we need these kind of films, so if you can, please support them. That'll be all from me today. Big, glowing review for Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was bound to happen at some point. Now, if you feel that this review was a bit jumbled and muddled and all sorts of stuff, I'm sorry, that's what the film did to me. There's just so many thoughts just, you know, fighting for fighting for priority in my head. So yeah, if any of that sounded interesting to you, if you enjoyed this review, then please like, share and subscribe. That's the best way to support this channel. And leave a comment down below about the film, about the Swiss Army Man, any other films you have seen, want to see, recommend to me for seeing. I thank you again for watching. Go see the film, and I'll see you in the next video on Flying Wiener. Take care. Bye.